Hello students, welcome back to the BSc 3rd SEM Basic English course. I am Dr. Vidya Patil, serving as Assistant Professor of English at Government First Grade Women's College, Bidar. In today's video, we will be discussing about the second lesson of your textbook, My Sons Are Remote, I No Longer Know What They Eat for Breakfast. This lesson is written by Kamala Das. In this lesson, Kamala Das shares with us her experiences of writing letters and also tells us about how she feels that letter writing gives immense joy. So come on students, let us now begin with this lesson. The second lesson is titled, My Sons Are Remote, I No Longer Know What They Eat for Breakfast. As I've already told you, the writer of this lesson is Kamala Das. Before we actually begin with the lesson, I would just like to share a few bits of information about Kamala Das, who is a very famous Indian women writer as well as one of the first women writers to start writing in English. So students, let us now try to understand Kamala Das's life and her writing. Kamala Das, or also known as Kamala Suraya, was a Malayali writer. She was born on 31st March 1934 in Thrissur, Kerala. Her pen name is Madhavi Kutty. She was a poet, novelist, as well as a short story writer. She has written in all the genres such as poetry, novel, short stories, and memoirs. She has received many prizes, among which the most prominent are the Sahitya Academy Award, the Asian World Prize, and the Asian Poetry Prize. She died on 31st May 2009 at the age of 75 in Pune, Maharashtra. Kamala Das is considered to be one of the most famous Indian women writers. She wrote frankly about female sexuality and the experiences of being an Indian woman. She has written on various issues such as children, women, and politics. Her main concern has always been about women emancipation. She is also a very widely read columnist. She has written on various diverse topics, and that is why she is considered to be one of the leading women writers of India. Let us now begin with the lesson. My sons are remote. I no longer know what they eat for breakfast. In this lesson, Kamala Das begins with telling us about how her father has been dead for 19 years. One day, while she and her sister were cleaning his cupboards, they discovered many of the old letters which her father had saved and kept. Kamala Das finds that these letters were written to her parents while she was living at the convent school. In the past, letters were the only mode of communication, and this is what she had used to communicate with her parents when she was living in a boarding school. Kamala Das informs us that when she read those letters, she realized that she was a very materialistic child. She used to constantly ask her parents to send her a silk dress, which was preferably blue in color, red shoes, new school bags, handkerchiefs, Yardley's talc, and other such things. Her brother also used to ask in his letters for notebooks and pencils, which had been made in Germany. When they grew older, they had started demanding for financial assistance and then for tips on medicines which need to be taken. Kamala Das continues to say that the art of letter writing has waned and is on the decrease. She tells us how Her sons and most people nowadays never bother to write letters. They usually talk through the phone. Her sons call her up once or twice a month and inquire about her health, but never bother to know anything more. They usually keep the phone after making a promise that they will soon be visiting her. So she says that they sound more as strangers to her. She feels that she is more up to date with Bill Clinton's daily routine, but doesn't know what her sons eat for breakfast. Kamala Das shares with us her experiences of writing letters. She tells us about how she had a pen friend who was a Yugoslav named František Ernost. His wife was Mary Ernostova. She also talks about another pen friend, Harold Rapella of California. His child's name was Susan. Later, Kamala Das's eldest son Monu also became a pen friend of Susan and used to correspond with her. Today, instead of pen friends, people have phone friends. Kamala Das says that she still finds letter writings were more fun than talking on the phone. Kamala Das remembers her former days when everyone was in love and used to write letters. One day, while cleaning her house, she discovers old love letters and becomes nostalgic. She also talks about a particular incident where she tells us as to how her son's friend in his school days sold a love letter written by her for rupees 25 to a collector. She laughingly tells us that that is when she realized what was the value of her letters and her emotions. Writing letters in the past was a passion. People eagerly waited for the letters to arrive, and letter writing was a part of their life. So, students, in this lesson, my sons are remote. I no longer know what they eat for breakfast. Kamala Das tells us or describes us the status of letter writing in the late 20th century. She also explains how the phone had just started intruding into the space of letter writing, and people have now soon started losing out interest in writing letters. She tries to tell us how beautiful the world of letter writing was. So, students, I hope you liked this video. Thank you.